Now, I know for a fact my Rd400 is worth a lot more now than when it was brand new in terms of dollars, even if you factor in inflation. But there's more to it than that. You can make investments in gold and real estate and different things that, yeah, at the end of it, you'll get a return on your money. But this is something, it goes up in value every year and you can enjoy it. But the question is, to me, why does it go up in value? And I think most two-strokes, almost all that I know of, seem to go up in value a lot more than some of the other things in my life, like the cars I own or some of the other things I've spent money thinking I was going to make money. But this bike never disappoints. Anytime I ever look up what people are getting for these bikes, even overseas and in Australia, they always command top dollar. I think what makes some of them special is some of these bikes, including the RD series, they were relatively inexpensive and they stood the test of time. They didn't break a lot. They're so simple to work on. Almost everybody I know can do their own work and even do a top-end overhaul with very simple tools. There's nothing complicated about them. And so years later, what happens is, if you buy one, you don't have to worry that there's a $2,000 part in there that you can't replace. The parts are still available from several places, and they're relatively inexpensive. Now, I'm 79, and most of the people my age lived through the golden age of motorcycling, when these bikes would duke it out with much bigger bikes and most of the time come out on top. And a lot of people back in that time remember those great memories, taking these to the hot dog stand or to wherever you hung out and seeing the guys with the big bikes that were did not want to challenge you to a race a lot of times. And you have those memories, and those memories a lot of times later in life, in my case too, you want to go back and relive those golden times. Now in my case, when I got this bike and restored it, that's exactly what happened. So what really happens is, to a lot of people later in life, they get the money together, the kids are done with college or whatever, and they go, gee, I want to go back and relive. In this case, this is a 1977. And you look around for one, and they're way more than when they were new, even if you account for inflation. And a lot of them, even ones that are not in great shape, are a fortune. But you still want to have one, and that's what drives up the price and keeps the value of the one you already have. Now, even though I'll never sell this bike, I'm not selling any bikes. I'm going to go to the grave with the bikes in my humble collection. The point is, I like to keep it in as nice condition as possible. I'm not afraid to spend a few bucks when it needs some parts or some polishing compound or some accessories or whatever. And it's such a sad thing to me when I see somebody that has a bike and they've just let it go to hell in a handbasket, and they don't clean it, and they don't lube the chain, or they just let it go. What a sin, especially when the bikes hold their value so well. But I think the big reason they hold their value, maybe even better than other things, maybe there's things that are better than Rd400s. They are fun to ride. And anybody that ever owned one knows that feeling of just going through the gears or just popping a wheelie whenever you want. And you put it up on a center stand. It's not like putting an elephant up on a milk crate. It's just fun to ride, period. A nice feature of owning a motorcycle that's over 25 years old, you can get historic plates for it. Once you buy the historic plates, and when I bought these, they were $40. They're good for life. You get a renewal every year with the pay this amount, 000. Now, I just think that's a nice little free bonus. That pays for some of the two-stroke oil anyway. And the historic plates, keeping a bike maintained well, keeping the value up, even if you're never going to sell it. You just get to ride and own a nicer motorcycle in the end. Now, in an effort to keep the value of the bike and the performance up to snuff, I replaced the carburetors with Sudco, the same size Sudcos, and it turned out to be quite a big job, not a plug and play like I thought it might be. But I did make a dedicated video that's on the channel for two-stroke lovers. Worth watching, by the way, if you're going to replace, I guess on any motorcycle, you're going to replace the older carburetors with the new ones that are made to replace them. It's not that easy. And I'm always amazed at meetups like Bikes and Breakfast, any place where motorcyclists are oogling each other's bikes. How many people will just walk up to you and go, "Well, if you ever want to sell that, oh, I'd really like to have it. I had one when I was 14 years old," or something. Everybody's got memories of these bikes. Everybody. Virtually everybody. Now the exhaust, the note, and the smoke, and it's all part of the two-stroke mystique. And I have several, over the years, have had several different exhaust systems on the bike, including a nice set of expansion chambers. Now to give you another idea of just how crazy the investment in two-stroke stuff is, I got these many years ago for $200 brand new in the box. I made a video about installing them. I used them for, well, maybe 4 or 5 years. I've had them on and off the bike a few times, along with the jetting charts that I developed for this set of pipes. And when I bought them, the $200 pipes, just recently Luciano bought a set, and he paid $600 for them. That's almost crazy to think about it. So I often think, what other stuff? I mean, if I bought something 10 years ago and it tripled in value, boy, wouldn't you like everything in your life to just triple in value? And the late Kenny Augustine did a lot of work on the bikes for me. He was a tenant in my house, and over the years he taught me many good lessons about motorcycling. And one of his recommendations was always, no matter what, add a few ounces of two-stroke oil to the gas, just in case. And it's proven to work out pretty good. I haven't ever not put a little bit of oil in the gas. And it's funny, even back in the day, Kenny would say to me, you know, the oil you put in the gas, it's like an insurance policy. If you don't need it, it's great. But sometime you need it. And it's just my opinion, but I think having things that you had many years ago, whether it's motorcycles, model trains, or model airplanes, or whatever, it kind of connects you to the past in a way that ultimately, in the end, it keeps you mentally alert and young. You're thinking about things that are pleasant memories. And the sound of that engine and all the rattling going on and the smell of the two-stroke oil, it always makes me feel a lot younger than I am. I'm sure there are a lot of motorcycles that have held their value well. I just think the RD is exceptional because they were relatively inexpensive and have never, absolutely never stop going up in value. And who would have ever thought 48 years ago the way these bikes, among others, would hold their value and go up in value and be such a wonderful investment. Now, if you're new to our channel, we have a very, very eclectic channel. One of the new features we have now is some of the videos are grouped into groups that you can access all the videos for one category in one mouse click. And it should be very convenient and very handy. Just check out the feature on the main screen playlist. And thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. We appreciate your support, and it makes this channel possible with all the things we do, the painting, the wheels, the polishing. And please take a second or two and hit the like button. And thanks everyone for watching.